Hi, everybody. Today is May 6th, and the podcast you're about to listen to was filmed back in the beginning of February. And I just wanted to give a little behind the scenes context to what that short podcast was about because I have a backlog right now of 5 podcasts. And actually, I'm about to record a sixth after this little message. But I felt like so much has transpired over the past few months with just us getting back on board with being pregnant and then being unexpectedly sick for 2 months in ways that I didn't even know people walk through when they're pregnant. So when I was kind of going through my Rolodex of like podcasts we had recorded, I was like, all right, let me just listen to this and see if there's anything valuable that it can contribute to my podcast. And it was honestly almost reminds me of like a shorty little message that I would like send my girlfriends in a voice note because it was a lot of like life stuff and like my latest go-to of like what I'm obsessed with eating right now. But just know that behind the scenes in filming this, we had the miscarriage, thought that we were going to kind of just move back to our life schedule of, hey, let's just focus on ourselves this year, enjoy a year above water with our daughter being 1 and us not drowning in like sleepless nights and newborn trenches, etc. And then at the end of January, we kind of just had a change of heart and we were like, you know what? Why don't we just see like if we get pregnant again right away, it's a God thing and we're meant to get pregnant. Anyways, we got pregnant right away. So that kind of changed everything and made me really have to look at what is God calling me like into right now versus what I wanted. So I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. It was such a big wow for me to listen back to because I'm like, in February, I already knew what I needed to do and enjoy listening to the next few podcasts because, like, 4 podcasts from this, I think, or 5, like, I kind of announced how I had to close a chapter of my life. And I know it's not closing a chapter, it's just for right now. I just had to put it on the bookshelf and finally give myself permission to really be present for what God is calling me to. So anyways, thank you guys so much for always listening and enjoy. Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Anastasia podcast. This is probably not going to come out on Tuesday again. Things are crazy over here, but kind of okay. Like we have a handle on things. The podcast that I released last week, I think I had got it out on Friday or Saturday. We literally recorded on Sunday before the blizzard, and I was like, it's going to be great. It was Matt and I was like, I'm going to edit it. I'm going to release it on Monday, a day early. And I'm going to be like, if anybody wants anything to listen to during the storm, and then it was just chaotic. We woke up Monday morning, the day of the blizzard, with no Wi-Fi. Like Wi-Fi went out kind of, I guess, like in the hood, or I don't know really how that works out. And then we didn't have Wi-Fi until like Tuesday night. And then, like life with Magnolia, just everybody was playing catch up for that whole week, like plowing, moving snow. Then we got more snow. But I will say, towards the end of the day, so everybody in the neighborhood right now is walking their dogs on the street because it's impossible to walk in the woods. Matt took the dog on a hike in the woods once and he only made it to the second bridge and he literally had to pause to catch his breath. I took the dog on a hike in the woods yesterday because Magnolia was at grandma's. There were some spots where I was physically still on top of the snow. Like the snow is so frozen that you don't break through, but then randomly you break through and it's literally like 2 inches lower than my knee. It's still so deep back there. At the end of the hike, like when we kind of turned around and got back to our property, and by hike, I use that extremely loosely because we were not going far. I had to pause and I was like, oh, this is like what they talk about when they're like, make sure you take breaks when people shovel and they get heart attacks. I wasn't wearing like a heart monitor, but I'm like, I swear my heart rate is like 190 right now. It was crazy, like lugging your feet up in heavy boots that high, going that deep in the snow. So, my purpose of bringing that up is the weather is crazy around here. There were a few flurries today, and we're supposed to have a forecast of 5 days of rain. Right before all this rain, at the end of the week of the day of the blizzard, I believe, we had like a 52-degree day. Oh my gosh, we're all in sunglasses when we're taking our family walk. Like, we're all just like in jackets instead of full snow gear. And it was like, okay, I can send winter off with like a final goodbye because that blizzard was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. New Englanders know you get that one pre-spring day and it's life-changing, and I am not even a person who wishes winter away. Like, Matt and I were just talking before the blizzard, and he was like, "I'm kinda glad that it's snowing again." He's like, "If it's gonna be cold, I'd rather it be beautiful and there be snow on the ground," and I totally agree. But now it's just kind of at the point where, like, okay, we're in March. April showers bring May flowers. Okay, I guess we have a whole 'nother month, and I do remember it does dump a lot of snow in March because, like, you can end up going up skiing and snowboarding, like, kind of midway through March, but I really think that just 50-degree day really played a trick on my mind, and now I'm kind of ready. And I'm not angry, but I'm really looking forward to this week of rain, surprisingly, and it's supposed to be in, like, the high 40s, and maybe it's supposed to be, like, 55 one day. I just wanna see how much snow melts because the inconvenience right now of life of not being able to just even hike in the woods is pretty crazy. Like, Matt took the dog on a run this morning. On a run. I don't wanna run on the street. I'd rather just get a little cardio done in the woods. So, that's that about the weather. We're just in it, but you know what? Like, next week is daylight savings, and I am a person who I never mind daylight savings because it just always means something is happening, and it's gonna be spring forward, so we're gonna lose an hour, but the excitement with that is it's gonna be lighter later, and that's gonna be huge because right now the sun sets at 5:30, so the sun is gonna be setting at 6:30. That's gonna be a high in itself. That's gonna be, like, the high that we need to carry us over until we make it to, like, the consistent mid-50s into the 60s, etc. So, anyways, today's podcast is just going to be a little bit of a life update. I was going to do a podcast. I'm going to do it next week on like birth control, infertility, and that book Beyond the Pill. I actually had the book. I don't know where it went. Maybe I left it downstairs. I wanted to hold it up because I just wanted to gather a little bit more. I want to reskim that book and kind of just remember what stuck out to me when I was reading it. It's not going to be this like crazy in-depth, like we're meeting with the professionals. It's just going to be my take on things. I am finding too in this season of my life, I'm liking expelling kind of shorter versions of things because I don't have all the time in the world to like talk forever and edit forever. So I used to like release hour-long podcasts all the time. Now, if a podcast is like 15 minutes to half an hour, I'm like, frick yeah, dude, because editing that is way better. It's like, and you know what? Bigger or, like, longer, like, quantity doesn't always mean quantity, so it's like I it's learning, right? We're learning as we're going, and I'm realizing I don't have to, like, chain myself to this chair for an hour weekly to get out a good podcast, like, sometimes they can be short and sweet, we connect, and then we go about our business. This week a hyperfixation. So this is like a thing with ADHD. I love finding something that like I enjoy eating and then I'll eat it for like 7 days in a row because then I don't have to think about cooking for that many days. Sandwiches are my go-to right now. And I like don't remember the last time I had like a sandwich. Today I had a BLT. Yesterday I had a sandwich with honey turkey and the day before I had a sandwich with honey turkey. Now, I know people are like, but deli meat is a carcinogenic. Like, isn't that the latest thing that kind of came out? Not when you buy it from Whole Foods. I think Whole Foods deli meat is literally some of the most minimally processed deli meat out there, or at least that's what I tell myself, but I'm pretty sure I researched that and that's what it is. And I also buy deli meat maybe 1 to 2 times a year. So I really think it's okay. Making those sandwiches though, like I bought the sourdough where it ends up being kind of like a half loaf of sourdough and it's already pre-sliced. So if you take the 2 slices like at the end, it's like this big. So if you make a whole sandwich this big with 2 pieces of bread and you cut it in half, you literally have a sandwich for now and a sandwich for later. Or you have a sandwich for today and a sandwich for tomorrow. And it's been working out. I've been eating sandwiches for like 4 days. It's freaking great. The downside is I'm probably not gonna want sandwiches next week, so I wonder what next week will be, but I was thinking today when I was cleaning the kitchen, I was like, I'm kinda missing steak, so maybe I'll just go on to, like, eating, like, veggies and steak for dinner. I don't know what I'll do for lunch, maybe something simple, but I want something rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. People who make meals every day, I'm sure that will be in my future. I'm sure when we have a bunch of kids and they want stuff for dinner and, like, I probably can't get away with just, like, making burgers every single night, I'm gonna have meals on rotation, but, like, bless the people who have the bandwidth for that because I don't. Other news that's going on very well over here is sleeping through the night is becoming more and more of a thing. Magnolia is doing great. Her naps are kind of where the questionable behavior ties in and like the inconsistencies lie, but I will take like the sleeping through the night. Like it is an absolute game changer. like being a week into sleeping through the night. Now I think we're like almost at a month, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's just you really do like your brain wipes clean the whole year plus of not sleeping, which is just fascinating how the brain works. Like I think that's literally a trauma blocking response that has to be because that was really bad. Like, that was really bad. But anyways, I have been, like, really following with, like, when I put Magnolia down, I go get myself ready for bed, and I get in my bed, and I'm usually asleep within half an hour. Like, it is crazy if I'm up an hour after I put her down, and I am consistently waking up earlier and earlier, and here's the thing with Magnolia. She usually wakes up between 7:30 and 6:30 AM, so she doesn't sleep in. She only slept in today until 9 because she went to bed last night at 10 and she only napped an hour and a half all day yesterday after only sleeping like 8.5 hours the night before. So she's just still like, you can kind of figure out what you need, but like still every single day revolves around catering to like knowing what she needs to have a good day. And I kind of, when I was writing notes for today's podcast, I was writing about that because you like see this stuff online about people with multiple kids and kids having meltdowns and kids are just going to have tantrums and whatever. And I think, like, when you peel back the layers of that, it's depending on birth order, depending on, like, what the family needs, the chaos is, etcetera, kids aren't always able to get their needs met in terms of, like, self-regulating and sleep and rest. Magnolia today, during her whole wake window, like, from 9 to I put her down almost, like, around 2 o'clock. She was an absolute delight. She's funny, she's silly, she gives me kisses, she's, like, huggable, she's very involved in helping with whatever you need help with. Her temperament is great, like and I really was just like, "Wow, this is a child who like, her sleep is perfect right now. She's well rested, she's, like she ate much better, she's communicating to me what she would like much better." Her yesterday when grandma brought her back, like, it was in an effort to, like, "Okay, we gotta get her down for her second nap right away." She's thrown hands. She's thrown hands. Her tone of, like, what she's communicating in is only at a 10. There's no, like, 5, there's no t it's a 10, and it's screaming and squealing. And, like, that is an overtired child, and I can't help but think, like, the luxury of right now of getting to revolve and shift my day around what does she need. We had 2 days in a row now at our house where, like, within 15 minutes to half an hour of Matt waking up, he's going into work for an emergency, like, situation, and it's like, okay, so it's shifting into, like, today I'm solo parenting, yesterday was grandma day, but yesterday I was, like, wicked sad, and I was like, oh, this is also because I just didn't see my husband for, like, 3 days in a row, basically, so, like, I already miss him, and it's just recognizing in the day-to-day what you need, and how many of us, right? How many of us are so busy in the day-to-day that we don't even have the ability to pause and recognize, like, what tweaks do we need along the way in the day-to-day to help us, like, feel our best, just operate our best, just be in a good rhythm and groove? Sometimes you don't have the opportunity to do that at all because 'cause you're on such autopilot, and I'm really loving giving myself the ability to be much more mindful of the gift that is this season of being home with Magnolia. For so long, like, I pushed that away, the, like, having to be at home because all I wanted was to, like, feel useful, and I don't know if it's God, like, kinda breaking me down a little bit and opening my eyes to it or just time has worn me down, but I am really like, today I said to my sister, Magnolia needs like a calm, present mom more than she needs a picture perfect house. And that means when I'm like slowing down and really setting realistic expectations of like what our day to day is going to look like and like what life in this season of life looks like, Magnolia can't take an entire seltzer can bottle and flip it upside down when I'm not looking. And instead of me being like, Magnolia, no, we're gonna be like, uh-oh, we can go get a towel, we can clean it up together. And I'm just like, I notice when I'm not, and I know moms do this all the time, but I notice when I'm not keeping my cool. And I'm just like, oh, like I already, Russians, I say like we're like Italians and like Slavic people and European people were a lot. But I'm like, is this the tone that I want to set? Like, this is my first. What am I going to be like with my second? And if we have more kids and whatever, like, how do I want to be as a mom? I don't want to be a spaz. I don't. So what happened this morning? My husband was supposed to work till 7 a.m. I woke up today at 6:20. I tried to stay in bed, but I really once I'm up because I'm going to bed so much earlier. But I did think that he came home at some point in the middle of the night earlier than I was expecting. And I woke up to go to the bathroom at some point and I noticed our door was open in our room because our dog wasn't in the room anymore. And I was like, okay, Matt must have taken the dog out, but Matt's not home yet. Maybe I opened the door. All right, fast forward, Matt was home. I'm having Matt sleep in, the baby's sleeping in. I'm downstairs doing everything I need to do because Matt was running on 3 or 4 days of really not enough sleep, 5 to 6 hours. And he wakes up this morning at 9:15. He's like, I have to go. And I'm like, we didn't even get a chance to, I don't even know what his day looked like yesterday, whatever. But what did I do for myself? I had to adapt right away and be like, okay, if I'm solo parenting again today, I am turning down any of my expectations. I'm not going anywhere. It's supposed to rain all day today too. I'm not taking the baby out in the cold rain. I am so behind on laundry right now. Magnolia is her pajamas are, definitely not pajamas that she's sleeping in. I have to wash, no, actually, in the dryer is, a massive load of onesies, so that's my problem. I need to get downstairs, and I need to get all those out, but that's just Magnolia's clothes. Then I have our clothes and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, this is going to be a home day. I just changed out of my pajamas to do this podcast. I was like, we're going to take it easy. I curled my hair after I put her down. Again, I'm just trying to do my best. It's not being lazy. It's not underperforming. I'm just giving myself permission, finally, after 15 months, basically, to just be present and realistic in the season of life that I'm in. And honestly, I wish I did it for myself sooner because going to bed earlier for the past 2 weeks, if not almost 3 weeks, right? I'm always going to bed before midnight. I went to bed between midnight, 1 a.m., later for my entire adult life, even through 34, even through becoming a mom and not sleeping at all with a newborn and an infant for 14 months. I never went to bed early. I could not turn my brain off and tell myself 9:30 was a time to get ready for bed. That was insane to me. 9:30 is my favorite time to crawl into bed right now. And now having a few weeks of this built up, it was a perfect, right? I would do it for 5 days and then I'd stay up late 2 nights in a row and I would feel so terrible that I'm like, wow, I really need to course correct. There's something about going to bed earlier and just waking up earlier and giving myself the best part of my brain in the morning before my kid wakes up. And then now being a few weeks out from it, I'm like 90% of my problems would have went away with my battle with motherhood and everything else had I gone to bed earlier for the whole first year because I know my mind was playing tricks on me. I know my mind was playing tricks on me with exhaustion. And it's when you're tired and you have so much sleep debt, you're foggy, you can't think through things logically. And things feel bigger than they are. And I wonder if I would have gotten to a place sooner of just accepting my reality of this season of motherhood when my baby is this small and needs me this much is not going to be forever. And I'm just going to wait it out. Because I actually did that when I was pregnant. I was like, I don't know what this whole process is going to look like, but I'm not allowed to make an entire judgment call on it until I'm at the end of it. And I waited and I did that. Why didn't I do that until the first year of motherhood? I was trying to, but I was crawling my way through it, exhausted. And it's exhausting in its own way. Toddlers, let me tell you, it's exhausting in a whole nother way because your child doesn't sit still and it's exciting because they love exploring the world. When I put her down today for her nap, it was actually wicked funny because I go downstairs and we had cleaned her play area. We always put toys away together before she goes and takes a nap. But then I go in the side room and she had removed every single shoe from storage. Stuff was everywhere. And I'm like, well, she was having a grand old time. And this is the next stage that we're entering into. She is just going to leave a little hurricane everywhere she goes. And that's okay. As long as she's safe, mama's happy. All right, that's basically it. This iPad is warning me that it's about to die. That's the other thing. I came in to record a podcast kind of right at the beginning of Magnolia's nap. Every single thing in this room was dead because we moved everything around. I want to redo this whole room, but then I have to remind myself, I don't have the time for that at all. So it's probably just going to have to be like this for a while. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in like always, and I will catch you all next week. Bye.